Digital scale that I just bought off Amazon, trying to make it easier to weigh goats. Sorry, this is my storage shed, so it's kind of dirty. Anyway, I'm going to give you a description of it. This is the underside. It comes with most of the parts in its storage. And this is the top. I started to take the white covering off. It said to take it off, but I decided to leave it. It's the control panel. Turn it on. Oh, that lower. Turn it on. Set it to the side. I'm going to tear the weight out. I'm going to get on it just to test it. And that's pretty close with my boots and all on. Now, that's one thing I've noticed is that sometimes it doesn't tear back to zero. This time it did. But you can change it from pounds, ounces to kilograms. I got it because the goats are starting to get too big to throw in a sack and weigh with a fish scale. But I got it for $168 on Amazon. I'll show you all that in just a little bit. All right, I'm gonna give an update on the goat barn that I'm building out on the farm. And I was unable to take some of the videos of building certain portions of it because my camera kept falling down with the wind and then the battery died. So I continued on, but I'll give you an update on that in a second. What I'm gonna show you now is one of the things that I always like to do, and I used to teach welding to students, is I tell them to find material that can be sourced for free. Better to find free material than have to pay for it, and utilize what you have to get what you need. So I'm going to turn what we have here is a little lean-to area my brother built to put some baby chickens in years ago. And it has fallen down. The wood is rotted off of the ground. The wind kind of pushed it over. But what I have is a lot of purlins that are in there. And I'm short some long purlins on the barn. I'll show you in a minute. But I'm going to take a measurement and see how long these are. But I'm sure I can use these for those long ones. Well, we can see right now it's 11 feet 5 inches to the cutouts, and we can add another 5 or 6 inches on either side, so about another foot is the total length we can reach, so about 12 foot 5. So we're gonna go see what the goat barn's gonna look like. I can't help it, I'm showing my ducks that are chasing me or walking behind me to go feed the chickens, and there is little mama duck. That's my Swedish blue mama. She's made a good nest and she's sitting on her eggs again. So I'm going to leave her. Well, I went to feed the critters today and I noticed a whole nest full of eggs that I can see. There's 3, 6 eggs, maybe 7. My Swedish blue ducks, the one that's sitting on it, but I have a feeling it's some Muscovy and some Swedish blue. There's a close-up of my goats. That's the little female, the white and brown one. That's her mama. That's her son. Brown one on the other side. That's her son. And those 2 little ones are both females. My daughter absolutely loves the color on that one. But that is her mama under the horse on the other side. There's the baby geese that the mom and dad have adopted. And don't turn your back on that gander. That joker is mean. I hope y'all can hear me through all this wind, but also an update I thought as I was walking off. Finally got a farrier to trim her hooves, so she's looking and feeling a lot better. Another view. That oak tree, neighbor of ours, Mr. Thompson, he's passed away now. He said when he was a kid, that oak tree was the same size. I can't put my arm around the base of it, not even to touch my fingertips. And if you like shooting, there's my dad and brother's gun range over there. If you want to, I could even do a video or two on the gun range and shooting. So let me know if you want to hear about that too. I'm gonna try to video this and show you the measurements on here if I can, but I'll have to tell you what the number is. Well, 12 foot even, that's what I tried to lay it out to be, was 12 foot even. And looks like I did a pretty good job of that. Sorry, moving my hands. 12 foot even. I can get the sides put on the building. For the verticals on top, I've already got the the mid rails on the sides, or on one side anyway, starting to go put some boards. Then I could put the runners on top and then start laying some cross members in it, and then put the tin on top after I cut the posts off. And my plan is to use live edge cedar, such as I have here. These boards are a little bit short. I cut the rotten ends off for the right length, and there's different lengths all the way around. Let me show you what it's going to look like. And this is what it'll look like on the outside. So imagine that going all the way around, between 3 and 4 feet, all the way around midpoint, and then the top being 10. That should look pretty sharp, I think. And this is the weather coming in. We're about an hour south of Dallas, just a little bit west of Corsicana, Texas. And we got thunderstorms rolling in. It's been raining on average every 3 to 4 days for several months now. So even though the grass in some places looks dead, like in my front yard, after all the construction, we had a bunch of clay. And I spread out ryegrass so it would grow and cover up the clay. Well, it's too hot for the ryegrass, so it's starting to die. On the far side is what we call the old pond. And that hill right there was covered up with brush and weeds, just like right there. And a lot of that at the top and down the sides was blackberry vines. And I know people will get mad when I say it, but I don't like the blackberry vines. I love blackberries, but I don't like the blackberry vines. As soon as they get ripe, every animal out there eats all the blackberries, so I never get any of them. The goats love them. They cleaned that up in about 4 days. And they chewed this down to where it's reasonable. I still have plenty of grass here. I still have plenty of weeds for them to eat. For some reason, they don't like these weeds that grow on the edge of the pond, though. And this pasture, all of the flowers have started dying. I've got to go out there and top it so that the cockleburs won't grow up and to where the goats can actually get out there. Right now the grass is taller than the goats are, so even my big Billy, I lose him out there in the middle of all that. But just some things going on at the farm. I want to get back out and discuss the goat scale too. The goat scale, it's a good piece of equipment. I don't know how accurate it is, but for my purposes, it allows me to have a determination on when I want to bring the goats to the auction. It seems like the magic weight for the goats is between 60 and 80 pounds at the sale. I'll get the most money. Locally, when I say locally, I'm talking about the Waco auction. I'll get about $2.30 to $3 a pound, depending on the goat. Let you look at the geese while we're talking. And if I had a big trailer load, I could go to Goldthwaite, Texas, which is a few hours away, and I could get closer to $4 a pound. But I don't have enough goats to warrant driving that far away. But anyway, I like living on the farm. I grew up here as a kid. And I have a lot more growing to do out here. That tree line back there, I want to fence in all the way to that tree line. All the way to that tree line. And the trees on the other side of my house, I want to go over to my parents' driveway and encompass about 4 or 5 acres of that oak tree and get it cleaned out, because right now it is just scrub brush. Nobody can use it, and if it were to ever catch fire, it would be a big problem. So I want to get all that cleared out as well. It just takes time to build fence. I'm not bragging, I just love my goats. I'm proud of my goats. I can't wait till my Billy starts throwing some Kiko babies. The next batch I get should be Kiko. But there's all the babies. Even the new ones that aren't even a month old yet are eating feed. And they're not even Kiko. Anyway, we used to use that dog crate for hauling the goats. Next video, if you leave comments and tell me, I'm going to show you how I can use that yard sweeper to bale hay. I say bale hay, to gather hay off of cut grass in that pasture. I don't like for it to get very big. I like to keep it cut down, keep the mosquitoes under control. But I can cut it and the next day come out and rake it up, and I can gather, and I'm not even cutting an acre. I can probably gather up 150 gallons of compressed grass matter. I'm thinking about doing what McGee Homestead said, and I'm going to try to learn more about what Mike McGee said to do about making haylage or silage out of grass clippings. I want to see how that works, because that's a lot of really good grass out there. I hate to go to waste with it. There's a close-up of my goats. That's the little female, the white and brown one. That's her mama. That's her son. Brown one on the other side, that's her son. And those two little ones are both females. My daughter absolutely loves the color on that one. But that is her mama under the horse on the other side. There's the baby geese that the mom and dad have adopted. And don't turn your back on that gander. That joker is mean. I hope y'all can hear me through all this wind, but also an update I thought as I was walking off. Finally got a farrier to trim her hooves, so she's looking and feeling a lot better. Well, there's some hail, and it's blowing in sheets sideways. You can see all the critters in the shed, but it's not doing them much good the way the wind's blowing. It's blowing right in on them. I'm going to get in before I get too wet.